This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
And thanks for joining us here at 7 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starrentino. Tonight, the union representing teachers across Indiana wants specific answers to ongoing concerns about reopening schools. The state departments of health and education created a set of guidelines for schools, but specific plans are up to each district. Members of the Indiana State Teachers Association say clearer rules and mandates are needed at the state level for things like wearing masks, quarantining, and how to handle a worst-case scenario.
What resources are in place for staff, for students, and for the community when a student or a teacher dies? Not if, when.
Right now at the IndyChannel.com, you can see the state's recommended guidelines for reopening schools. We have also added new information daily as school districts release their individual reopening plans.
Part of those school district reopening plans include methods to deep clean before and after students return. RTV6's Cameron Riddle takes us to a school district in Shelby County for a look at one example of a mid-pandemic cleaning plan.
As schools across Indiana prepare to reopen for the first day of school in a pandemic, keeping students and staff safe and every surface sanitized is at the top of the priority list.
At the heart of it, we're trying to keep our students and our staff as safe as we can and make the school year look as normal as we can given the circumstances.
Katrina Falk is the Director of Transportation and Communications for the Shelby Eastern School Corporation. She says the school district has spent much of the summer getting the necessary supplies to reopen schools. That includes purchasing cleaning supplies that are strong enough to kill germs but won't hurt students or damage surfaces, both in the classroom and on buses.
All the products that we are using are EPA-approved products, and they are also in alignment with the CDC guidelines for working against coronavirus. Most of the products that we're using in our buses are commonly found cleaning products like 409, Lysol, even isopropyl alcohol.
Falk says they will not be using bleach as it is strong enough to destroy some surfaces. She says when school reopens on August 5th, one of the biggest challenges will be transportation, where social distancing is a challenge. She says all of the district school buses will be cleaned multiple times a day.
After the morning routes, the buses will be sanitized immediately following when the students are dismissed, and then in the afternoons, they'll be sanitized again after the end of the bus routes.
The district is taking its cues from state and county health officials with the understanding that plans can change at any time as the pandemic continues. But before any bus moves or any school door is open, Falk is asking parents for patience and flexibility.
We have a reopening plan that's been approved by the school board, but based upon what's happening in Indiana, what the guidance is from our governor and from the Department of Education, that could change in a moment's notice. So as proactive as you try to be with the situation, even the best laid plans sometimes fall short.
In Shelby County, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Today, the State Department of Health reported an additional 662 new positive coronavirus cases in Indiana for a total of 52,685 since the pandemic began. A total of 2,582 people have died, according to the Regent Street Institute. 76% of COVID-19 patients have recovered. And nearly 24 states are now pausing for rolling back reopening plans as COVID-19 cases increase. Florida now has more new cases of coronavirus daily than most countries in the world, and dozens of hospitals there say they have reached ICU capacity. Checking now with Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory. Kevin, it's looking quite nice outside.
I'm smiling, all nonverbal emotions that point to another great day, and I think you would agree. The temperature today will not be repeated within the 7-day forecast. In other words, we won't be this cool again for the next week. Nearly perfect conditions when you consider the humidity was still low. Temperature in Castleton, 85, 81 in Zionsville. Will drop into the 60s tonight. Appreciate that. Overnight lows will be as warm as the mid-70s for a big chunk of the 7-day forecast. And as you look at our fellow Hoosiers from north to south, all temperatures in that 4 or 5 degree range from lower 80s to mid 80s. One change for tomorrow. the humidity does start to climb. That's because of a change in the wind direction out of the south. That'll start to bring in the warmer temperatures and more humid air. 90 to 92 for the afternoon high. Still a topic for tomorrow's discussion, the timing of thunderstorms. We'll get into that and our severe weather threat coming up.
Tonight, an attorney for a Monroe County man is denying her client instigated a racially charged incident at Lake Monroe on the 4th of July. Vox Booker has spoken out several times, saying men in this video pinned him down and threatened to lynch him. Yesterday, attorneys for a couple seen in the confrontation on the video say the claims made against them are false and that Booker was the instigator and agitator. Booker's attorney denies that. His attorney also said that Booker met with the FBI and that the FBI has opened a hate crime investigation. An FBI spokesperson would not confirm or deny that investigation to RTV6. Attorney Catherine Leal issued a statement that reads in part, quote, "This is what repeatedly happens. The victim gets blamed and shamed. He gets re-victimized. Vox Booker is the victim. Black people across the nation have been the victims." You can read the entire statement in this story on our website, theindychannel.com. A Black Lives Matter street mural could soon be painted in downtown Indianapolis. The City County Council adopted a special resolution calling for the mural last night. If it moves forward, the mural would be painted on Indiana Avenue between its intersection with West Street and its intersection with Paca Street. Councilors say they wanted to convey a message condemning racism and inequality. The Indiana Avenue Cultural District once stood as the center for the arts and home ownership for African Americans who were once segregated from other parts of the city.
The filing deadline for tax returns is tomorrow. This comes after the IRS pushed back the deadline in the wake of COVID-19. Our Kelsey Anderson spoke with a financial advisor about the deadline and how you can prepare for next year.
When the pandemic hit, the IRS extended the tax payment deadline 90 days. That means tomorrow is the deadline to pay if you owe. I spoke with John Amatuli of Amatuli & Associates Financial Services. He says if you are still unable to pay when it's due because of the pandemic or any other reason, the IRS can assist you with a payment plan. Although that's not what he recommends because he says the IRS will charge you. Amatuli says while it's easy to think about right now, it's also important to think about next year's tax season.
I recommend the folks to work with a financial professional, a CPA or an advisor to look at, some tax exempt investments or tax deferred investments. Because as I mentioned earlier, we do feel that tax rates in the future will go up. And if you have those vehicles, that can save you some tax dollars down the road.
Amatuli says if you are able, consider boosting your retirement contributions. You may be eligible for certain tax credits that could help reduce your tax bill on a dollar-for-dollar basis. I'm Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Still ahead here on the news at 7, a well-known local restaurant and its patrons in the spotlight tonight during ABC's What Would You Do? We're learning more about how the show chooses its tough topics.
But first, it's been a strange summer for many kids. How local camps are trying to give your child a sense of normalcy.
The impact of the coronavirus is different for everyone. The Rebound Indiana is our mission to connect you and your family to vital resources to help you get through this pandemic.
RTV6's Lauren Casey finds how those summer camps your kids count on are going virtual to engage children who have been stuck at home for months.
We've just been quarantining since kind of everything locked down.
Vanessa Flora is a healthcare worker and a mom to 3 kids, including 2 active boys, Elias and Emmett.
They both were in competitive soccer. They both love CrossFit. They both do karate.
But the boys both have hemophilia, a blood clotting disorder that runs in her family.
They lead fairly normal lives, except for like when they get hurt, kind of the fear around that.
And this summer, Elias was looking forward to returning to Camp Brave Eagle, a summer camp for kids with this disorder and their siblings. It would have been Emmett's first year.
Camp Brave Eagle really provides them that opportunity when most likely they would not be able to attend like a normal sleepaway camp.
Pediatric nurse practitioner Jen Moss has been helping with this Camp Brave Eagle for the past 25 years.
We have something for the kids when they learn how to do their medicine. They get what's called a big stick, and the big stick is like a coveted thing.
But thanks to the pandemic, no big sticks would be returning or handed out this summer.
When we got the phone call that, you know, they couldn't go up there, everybody was really bummed.
And so when we found out we weren't going to do it, we really wanted to do something to at least reach out to these kids because we missed them.
So the organizers put their heads together and created a virtual camp option for the same week, starting with sending care packages to campers with supplies they need for the week ahead.
We kind of opened the boxes together, and they were really excited to kind of see some of the things in there. There was stuff for s'mores. There was, you know, yarn for making friendship bracelets.
Activity challenge every day, so make an obstacle course or go on a nature walk.
Each day, campers would do an activity and post about it on a Facebook group, and each night they would hop on Zoom to share and connect.
And so then we would comment on the post like, way to go, I loved it. I had 7 to 9 year olds. So you can imagine a 1 hour call with 7 to 9 year olds. So I had like a hot dog joke time where I put on a hot dog and told silly jokes. We named our cabin. They named it Crazy Cabin, and they came up with rules.
You know, they really had a blast with the obstacle course. They turned our entire backyard into this like American Ninja Warrior course.
While the virtual camp is no substitution for the going away experience, Camp Brave Eagle organizers can take the benefits of the virtual setting into this new normal post-pandemic to provide ongoing support to these kids and families.
You have to remember, like, hemophilia is so rare. Like, there's so few people who have it, and they're spread out all over the state.
Looking at providing ongoing monthly teen hangouts on these virtual calls, just because it's a great way to connect.
Working for you, Lauren Casey, RTV6.
Thank you, Lauren. I wish they would have shared a couple hot dog jokes. I would have relished that. Off about 350 miles to the northwest, a line of thunderstorms. Where will they be tomorrow night at this time? The answer coming up.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
In the age of cell phones and social media, where nearly any interaction between two people can be recorded, it is easy to watch from behind your screen and judge how others react. But ABC's hit show, What Would You Do?, puts your character to the test. And tonight, Indianapolis is in the spotlight. ABC's John Quinones reveals how people behave when they think no one is watching by using hidden cameras to record real reactions to thought-provoking scenarios created up by actors. And our Lauren Casey shows us on tonight's episode, the show put customers of a well-known local restaurant to the test.
We've caught the attention of this customer, too.
He can't contain himself, this guy.
Why don't you get somebody else to help him? Here, I'll help him.
And now both men come to Noel's defense.
At the historic Steer Inn on Indy's east side, a veteran struggles to order food off the menu. And his interaction with a waitress draws the attention of other patrons tables away.
He's serious. You can't say something like that.
Only this is no waitress, and the veteran is not a real customer. They are actors playing out a real-life scenario of a vet suffering from a traumatic brain injury.
Talk to me first about how you guys pick the topics for the show.
We watch what's going on in the news. We watch what's on social media, the videos that have gone viral. People were so kind and so welcoming in your state. We were very happy to be there. And the scenario we did at the Steer Inn was about traumatic brain injuries. And, you know, more than 400,000 veterans suffer from these injuries to the brain that cause everything from depression to slurred speech to mental confusion.
The waitress asks if he's drunk and gets impatient, but then real people showing Hoosier hospitality are the true stars of the show.
What sounds good, buddy?
This is sweet.
What do you recommend? I've only been here a couple times.
There's a gentleman in Purdue hat, so you recognize that we're here in Indiana. And it was really heartwarming, I think, for me, someone who's from here, to see all the people who jumped in and really, you know, became a friend to that veteran, or the actor who played the veteran. What's it like for you to watch this unfold behind the scenes?
It's always touching for me. It never gets old. Sometimes it's so heartwarming what people do, or so heartbreaking what people do, that I'm in tears.
Lauren Casey, RTV6.
Amazing one. You got to see more of what happened in that encounter here in Indy. Plus, see how the show puts people to the test with LGBTQ issues, gambling, and inequality tonight here on RTV6. What Would You Do airs at 10 o'clock, right before the news at 11. Kevin.
Temperatures at 11 will be comfortable. Humidity still low. I showed you the line of thunderstorms way off to the northwest. Thunderstorms in our forecast, but not until tomorrow night, probably after 9 o'clock. Our thunderstorm chances will increase in the western portion of the state. That's what I mean by late tomorrow, after probably 9. Thursday, 60% chance of thunderstorms, especially in the morning. We'll hold on to a daily chance for showers and thunderstorms after that, as we're stuck in this pattern where high temperatures will sit in the low to mid 90s, combined with the heat index values at 100, and in some cases a little more. And we just don't cool off overnight. Temperatures 72 to 75 for overnight lows. Told you what a great day today was. We'll only make some minor adjustments during the day tomorrow. Temperatures around central Indiana in the 80s now during the day tomorrow, with the south wind anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour, maybe a higher gust. That south wind carries warmer air into the state and a little more humidity. We'll hold off on any thunderstorms, though, until we get to tomorrow night. A couple of the thunderstorms may be strong in the western half of the state. Damaging wind would be the main threat. We're in the marginal or low risk. Check with Todd first thing in the morning for any update on that. 8 o'clock tomorrow night, thunderstorms along Interstate 57, Champaign down to Effingham. That pushes to the Wabash River by 9 o'clock, just west of the line from Lafayette to Terre Haute. Losing steam, though, as it comes to the east, but still with a punch that could bring us isolated severe storms. Always brings us much needed rainfall. We'll take that if we get it. Temperatures middle to upper 80s. We back off a little bit Thursday. There's your morning shower activity, and thunderstorm potential will linger into the afternoon hours. As you go beyond the Thursday, that chance for showers and thunderstorms will continue. 91, your Friday high. Again, chance of thunderstorms there. All this should look familiar. Here we go again. We had our stretch earlier in the month and during June, where temperatures get to 90 or above. Mid-70s for overnight lows, and temperatures in the low 90s, generally speaking, with that daily chance for some relief. A downpour means it will get cooler at least, so that's one benefit, and your grass will start to grow again.
Welcome back. The owner of a pub in England has come up with a unique way to get customers to follow social distancing guidelines. He installed an electric fence inside the pub. The pub owner says it's not actually on, but everybody thinks it is. And he tells CNN it's the fear factor that keeps people at a safe distance. England's pubs were allowed to reopen their doors on July 4th after being closed during the UK lockdown. Social distancing remains mandatory, and customers must hand over their contact details before they enter to help with coronavirus tracking if needed. Well, a fan has beaten the Washington NFL franchise to the punch as the team works to pick a new name. Philip Martin McCauley has already trademarked at least 6 potential names. They include the Pigskins, Monuments, Red Tails, Veterans, Red Wolves, and Warriors. McCauley says he offered the team those names for free earlier this month, but he has not heard back yet. Kevin.
Always thinking. Temperatures tomorrow, they'll be in the low 80s by 11 a.m. The clouds will increase in the afternoon, and our temperature will jump to 91 for the afternoon high temperature. Rain holds off until late tomorrow night.
Thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. Our next newscast is tonight at 11. We'll see you then.